Boys and girls, we have got a very special video today. How to choose your niche for your AI automation agency. A complete A to Z guide on picking the right niche, finding success within it, and everything you need to know. This video has taken me hours upon hours to sort of put into this sort of presentation and to articulate it. So yeah, I hope you like it. I probably shouldn't be giving this out for free, but just because of the amount of value in it. Like, this is worth probably hundreds, if not thousands. And I'm giving it to you guys for free because I want to say thank you for the support recently. And I'm going to continue to provide as much value and sort of give everything away for free as much as I can. Now, most of you watching this video do not have a sales or appointment booking problem. You have a product market fit problem. Now, after you watch this video, if you do watch it in full, which I highly recommend, because this will probably be the most important sort of video you watch when starting out in this agency game. Like, this is going to set the foundation for everything else, you know. If you don't have a good niche, then it's going to jeopardize not only your success and the way in which you sort of achieve success and the speed. It's just going to make it 10 times harder if you don't have a good niche. So make sure you watch this video, and it's crucial. Like, my God, if I had this information when I started, oh boy, it would have been a lot easier. So you're lucky in that sense that I'm just giving this for you for free, basically. Now, let me remove that. So what are the character traits of a good niche? Firstly, a hyper-specific with an unsolved problem. So when I talk about high-specific, I mean a specific niche, like not your typical one. I'll dive into that. I'm going to dive into everything, so I'm giving it all away. But a specific niche with an unsolved problem, a problem which is extremely painful, which means that the payout is extremely big for those that can solve it. Either nobody has solved the problem, or very few people have solved the problem, which means that low competition. And solving the problem brings the customer a return on investment in 30 days. And the last sort of criteria, you could say, are going to be leads that are easy to scrape and target. So, a tip: sell to a niche you've been involved in or a problem that you have solved in the past. Now, you're going to start by defining the niche's income levels, competitive landscapes, core values and beliefs, job titles, verticals, years of experience and location. Whoever understands the market will simply just win in the long run. So if the niche still seems valid after defining the basics, conducting deeper research using the questions below, then you're going to have found the right one. However, there's obviously a lot more that goes into it than just, market research. And I'm going to dive into absolutely everything. So don't worry about that. I'm giving you the whole thing. Now, these are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself and ask your niche, more importantly. What keeps them up at night? Eyes open, staring at the ceiling. What are they afraid of? What are they angry about? Who are they angry at? What are their sort of top 3 daily frustrations, the problems, the pain points in their business? What trends are occurring and will occur in their business or lives? What do they secretly, ardently desire the most? Is there a built-in bias to the way they make decisions? Do they have their own tribal language? Who else is selling something similar to them, and how? Who else has tried selling them something similar, and how has their effort failed? You might be able to answer all of these questions using a third-party resource, but if you want to... Now, I don't recommend relying on this. What I personally recommend doing is what I did when I started out. If you don't know, I'm in the personal training, online fitness sort of niche or space, as you could say. And what I did, and this helped me so much, is instead of just doing outreach immediately, I literally reached out to them and literally just asked them these type of questions. Like, I literally went on LinkedIn, messaged them, and had a phone call with one of them because they were nice enough. And most of these guys are nice. Like, people in your niche, I don't know, maybe some niches aren't so nice. Like, I know a lot of roofing companies or plumbers or those type of people. Okay, maybe they won't be as nice, but you get the point. Try to have a conversation. Maybe you know someone in the field. Like, if you're in the lawyer niche, do you know anyone? Is there any of your family or friends in the lawyer niche? And just ask them these type of questions. It's going to help you so much. Like, I promise you, this is going to help you. So, depending on your niche, you might be able to get these answers for free, but if needed, you can just offer them a Starbucks or, Amazon gift voucher or whatever, just to sort of have a bit of reciprocity to give them something back in exchange for the information that you're going to sort of extract from them. Now, the purpose of this research is to get a deeper understanding of the niche and find the market's, most urgent problems so we can validate the mechanism before building it. This is super, super important, and I don't see enough people doing this. Like, please, if you know anyone in your niche, just ask them these types of questions. Now, after finding the most urgent, problem that the market is facing, we're going to create a hypothesis around your transformation mechanism and the price it will cost to deliver it. This is all super vital. You have to understand all of this in order to actually, find success within the agency model. So let's talk about the transformation explained. Now, this is state 1, state 2, and the time it takes to go from 1 to 2, essentially. So we're going to picture this like this, right? So imagine a man is stranded on an island, island 1, with no food. Let me move this down so you can actually see the text. No food, no water or shelter, and 5 miles away there's another island, which is island 2, with shelter, food, clean water, and his family waiting to sort of welcome him back. The man's desire is to get to island 2. He is at island 1, he wants to get to island 2. The man doesn't care how he gets to island 2, as long as he gets there safely. Now, let's say we offer him a boat to get there. Do you think he cares about how many seats the boat has, what type of wood it's made from? Does it have a cup holder? Are the seats leather? Is it a wooden boat? Is it a fucking metal boat? It doesn't fucking matter. He only cares about whether it can get him from, island 1 to island 2. Now, these are some transformation examples, but I see way too many people go into too much detail on sales calls, on, pitches, on outreach. They just care about how you can do it. No, sorry, if you can do it, sort of, if that makes sense. So some examples are, we help e-commerce brands increase profits and save 50% of more time in the first 30 days. That could be using chatbots, it could be using whatever. It doesn't matter, because you're not selling the service, you're selling the result. You are not selling the destination. No, sorry, you're selling the destination, not the journey. That's a common one, right? You're not selling the plane journey, you're selling the holiday. And that's what you need to do, right? An example, another one is, we help luxury hotels implement AI to save costs, efficiency, and time in less than a week. Next one, we help luxury realtors in US markets close an additional 2 to 3 listings per month in 90 days or less. We help B2B SaaS companies build sales teams in 60 days or less. It can be whatever. This is your job to sort of build it out, to sort of have the transformation that you can share with your niche. So these are just some examples to inspire and sort of motivate you, and this is what you should be sort of looking for. Now, building your mechanism. The mechanism will be the vehicle that delivers the transformation. So now we've got a transformation, we're going to build the mechanism. The mechanism needs to be efficient, so we can charge more than it costs to deliver it, because obviously in the agency model, and it's why I specifically got into it myself, is because the profit margins are insanely high. It doesn't matter if you're doing a chatbot or an AI lead gen appointment setting, or just regular Facebook ads or TikTok ads. The profit margins for this agency model are like 70, 80, 90%. If you have a business partner, then it'll be like 50%, but it's insanely high compared to other like drop shipping and other sort of things. And it's by far the best business model because of this. Now, the mechanism will be built as a SaaS software, network, service, or an info product, or whatever. The fastest way to build a new solution is to look for people who have solved a similar problem in an adjacent field and copy their strategy and apply it to your situation. For an example, we're going to look at the infamous Alex Hormozi. If you don't know who he is, I recommend watching some of his content, because he's a very interesting person and he provides a lot of value. Now, Alex Hormozi was one of the first people to start running Facebook ads for gyms, and as a result, he turned gym launch into monopoly. If you don't know what a monopoly is, we're going to get into that, so don't worry. But the way he created the solution was by learning sort of how other businesses ran Facebook ads and applied it to gyms. While building your mechanism, pay attention to the new technologies and trends that you can leverage. So, brings us to 2023. Currently, I'm recording this in July, but whatever time you're watching this, AI is still probably prevalent. So if artificial intelligence is trending, which it will be as you're watching this, find a way to use it in your solution and it will automatically be easier to sell. So that is why AI and chatbots and appointment setting, automation, workflows, all that good stuff, probably what you're watching this video and trying to sell, now's the time. Okay, because it's trending in new technologies and you can leverage this. So for anyone saying that it's dying or it will die, it probably won't in the next few years, so don't worry. I know there's a lot of videos online about that. So we're going to talk about the price equation, which is going to be called P. Now, this is going to be transformation, certainty, competitors, niche ability to afford solution. Like, can your niche afford this? Like, that's such a crucial factor which people don't take into consideration, and they try to sell their niche. Or let's say you keep on getting the common, oh man, I think I really want to do it, but it's just a bit too expensive, you know, it's out my budget. That objection, that will keep on coming up because you're probably in the wrong sort of niche, or you're not in the right sort of market fit. Now, the customer will assign a predicted probability of the desired transformation being completed. This probability will dictate what the prospect is willing to pay. As you collect case studies and improve your mechanism, the prospect's assigned probability will increase. So obviously case studies, I just made a video on this last video. I recommend watching that after the video. Obviously watch this video first, then watch that video, but yeah, case studies help. So people sort of buying into the predicted value that they're going to get from your service. So that's what people are. So imagine your clients, they're betting on how much value they're going to be. And if they personally think that the value that they're going to get from your service is higher than what the price, then they'll pay it. So it's recommended that you start your price at 10% of the exceeded value the mechanism will create. And as you collect case studies and improve your mechanism, you can start increasing by 10% of expected value until you reach the heavy price resistance. Oh boy, you'll get the price resistance. So this is sort of why we do this, because it gradually builds it up. So I see a lot of beginners and they instantly try to charge like 4K for a chatbot, and I just don't recommend that. I recommend doing this. Okay, so that's just another heads up for the pricing. So another tip is going to be sell before you build. After you have hypothesized your transformation, T, we've talked about that here. So this is your transformation. We've talked about your mechanism, which is sort of the service and how you're going to do it. And we've talked about the price equation. Now it's time to share it with your market. The best way to validate product market fit is by selling the solution. We want to make sure it has, the product market fit before we invest, the time and money into building it. Create a video of the hypothesized solution and send it to people who answered your market research questions. So now go back to your friends and family or people you reached out to on LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever in your niche, and just send them this video. Tell them that you found a solution to their most urgent problem and try to get them on a sales call. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend pitching them too hard because they've helped you out. Just do it if they want to. And then when we do the outreach later on, then I recommend going, into obviously the more pressure sort of sales call sort of situation. The goal of this sales call is to collect a payment and promise delivery in 2 weeks to a month. If you are able to collect a payment, then immediately start building the hypothesized mechanism. You can also start running an outbound prospecting campaign using your new offer and see how the market reacts. So I see a lot of beginners, and I did this personally, so I'm not hating, but when I first started, I was scared of just doing outreach because I didn't want to waste my time until I had the perfect offer. But you can do offer to sort of analyze how good your sort of niche is and how well the niche responds to your offer, so vice versa. So just do outreach and see how it responds. You've got to remember that from every input you put in, so in the agency game, it's cause and effect. For every sort of thing, for every input, there's going to be an output. And then from the output, we can see how it reacts and we can change the input. So use that knowledge as you will. So congratulations. You have now validated your niche and achieved product market fit, assuming that you've done the questioning, you've asked sort of these questions to your people, and you've sort of created this. You've got a transformation, you've got a mechanism and the price, and you sort of know how much it's going to cost to deliver it, which means that you can sort of work out your profit margins. And we also need to make sure that the sort of the niche can't afford the solution. So once again, do some research. And people think it's a waste of time doing research. No, like, you have to do research. Crucial. Take notes. So now let's talk about sub niches and new mechanisms. If you've already established a case study in a niche that has competition, you can then target a sub niche or introduce a new mechanism to radically differentiate yourself. So this can work even if you don't have a case study. Now, I wrote this maybe a week ago, but even if you don't have a case study, do this. So create a sub niche. Now, you may be asking me, Charlie, what is a sub niche? Well, a sub niche is a niche within a niche. So let's say you're working with e-commerce brands, you can go into watch e-commerce brands. So you've niched down even more. Yes, there's going to be less leads, but as a consequence of you niching down, there's going to be less competition. So we're creating a blue ocean. Now, a blue ocean means that you can sort of enter it and there won't be too much competition. Now, an example, if you work with chiropractors, you can only work with chiropractors who take on a specific type of patient. So we're niching down within a niche, if that makes sense, to sort of lower the competition. If you work in home improvement, you can only work with companies who do a specific type of job within home improvement. If you work with real estate agents, you can work with luxury real estate agents in the United States only. Now, what this does is that you become a specific sort of specialist instead of a generalist, and we all know that specialists gets paid way more than generalists. It's why heart surgeons get paid way more than doctors, and it's why heart surgeons who operate on a certain part of the heart gets paid more than heart surgeons in general. So the more specific you can go, the better. Sub-niching lets you achieve market message resonance and stand out. So I had a brain sort of, it's late at night in the UK here. It's literally but it's midnight. This is what I do for the YouTube channel, guys. It's midnight and I'm recording this. And I'm a bit dyslexic, but nonetheless. So it helps you stand out from your competition. But like Peter Thiel says, it's best to just avoid competition altogether. So if everyone is in the niche, is using the same mechanism. So let's say everyone's doing Facebook ads, which was a huge problem in 2020, 2021. The market will eventually become extremely aware and numb to this solution. This is also known as, I haven't written this down, but you can write this down. It's also known as overexposure, classical condition, a bit of entropy, which means that all systems will die over time. So this can apply to outreach as well, meaning that the outreach script you have now, if it works now, it won't work in 6 months, and vice versa. If it doesn't work now, it will probably work in 6 months. So it's the same sort of thing. You can take that message and people think oh, I shouldn't do Facebook ads, but you've got to remember that Facebook ads isn't working now. Let's say it doesn't work now because it's, a bit saturated. I don't believe in this whole saturated thing, or niches are too saturated. Yes, it's better to go into a sub niche, but at the end of the day, if your offer, looks the same as everyone else, then yes, it'll be saturated. But if you've got a unique offer, then you'll be good. And if you go sub niche and listen to what I'm going to tell you about, creating monopolies and what I'm about to show you in this video, then you'll be extra successful, you could say. So, if everyone is in the niche is using the same mechanism, I'll use Facebook as an example, the market will eventually become extremely aware and numb to this solution. At this stage of market sophistication, you want to introduce a new mechanism that the market isn't aware of. This could be TikTok ads, YouTube ads, obviously short form content is sort of, maybe, I'm not going to say the word, you know what I mean, saturated, but artificial intelligence is the new one that sort of everyone's catching on, and it's the reason I'm on this now. I don't think it'll die out because it's going to be, effective for years to come. So that's probably why it's a decent sort of thing to get into now. But let's talk about creating monopolies. Monopolies are created by being early to a market or trend. Just like you watching this video, you're early, I guess, kind of, depending on when you're watching this. But most of you are probably early, and even if you're watching this in a few months, years, I don't know when you're going to be watching this. It's 2023, but you're kind of early, so you are kind of creating a monopoly just by being in the AI space. So you don't have to be first to create something new. You just have to be kind of early. You want to choose a niche that is small and competitive. Landscape is bare. The biggest mistake you can make when starting your agency is going after a massive market. You end up dealing with too much competition in one way or another. I see so many people, watch like the big names in the space. I'm not gonna, name anyone for, many reasons. I'm not gonna call anyone out, but I see a lot of beginners go for the gym niche or the real estate niche or the car detailing niche or the chiropractor niche. It's like, you can do that, but why? It's just gonna make it 10 times harder. Like, why don't you do what we've talked about here about sub niching, and we're gonna create a monopoly. If you want to build a monopoly agency, start by dominating an extremely small niche and expanding concentrically. Hopefully I said that right. Probably not. I butchered it probably. But what I mean by creating monopoly is taking over a niche. You want to become the big dog in the space. Take Facebook, for example. They were early to the trend of social networks, but did not target the entire internet. They started by just giving access to Harvard students, then slowly expanding to other niches. Another example is Amazon. They started by selling books, and then slowly expanded to selling other products. The next Mark Zuckerberg won't create a social network, and the next Jeff Bezos won't create an e-commerce company. If you are trying to copy these people, you are not learning from them. Please learn from them and, only sell to a small contingent of the market. Like, come on, these are billionaires. I think you should sort of take notes, please. I'm trying to help you. You just got to listen. Do what these guys did. You can learn from other people. As I'm sure if you watch my other videos, you know that one of my favorite quotes is by Otto von Bismarck. He said, "A wise man does not learn from his own mistakes," or something like that. A very wise man learns from the mistakes of others. You can learn from others, obviously not the mistakes, but you can just learn what these guys did, the billionaires. Like, why not? So an example of this agency model would be, instead of targeting the entire home improvement niche, target only one of the following sub-niches. This could be, an example would be a garage door repair business, or a tile business, or an air duct cleaning business, or a cabinet business, etc. The list goes on and on. I'm sure you get the point. On top of that, the only target one of these businesses in a specific state or location. So you can go even deeper and actually target like local businesses. Then after dominating one of these small markets, you can then expand into others. Do you get what I'm saying? Take over a small one, get the cash flow, get the experience, the case studies, the testimonials, all that stuff, and then expand. Don't go into the don't go into the mass niches with loads of competition straight away. And that's why most beginners fail. Yes, their outreach methods aren't the best. Yes, they don't understand psychology and sales and that stuff. But you can put yourself at such a better position. And if you're watching this right now, I want to say congratulations, because your attention span is actually decent and not the size of a goldfish, which 99% of people or teenagers or 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, however old you are, have nowadays. So well done for actually watching this video. And if you are watching this video now, you will probably find success because you've actually paid attention. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. I just want to say thank you and well done. But getting your first 100 clients requires you to get your first 10 clients. Like, no shit, obviously. But it's going to be much easier to get those 10 clients in a niche with zero competition. Hopefully you can hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying this for no reason. I want the best for you. And that's why I'm giving you this information. Instead of trying to become the next big chiropractor or e-commerce agency and competing with the, established, massive, big agencies, which are already existing monopolies in a saturated market, why don't you try to become a monopoly in an untapped niche like carnival blow-ups or turf managements, something of so particular, but they haven't been outreached thousands of times. They haven't had cold calls 10,000 times. They haven't been cold emailed, hundreds of times a day. Because that's the reality nowadays. Unless you're an established agency with hundreds of testimonials and you're known and you get inbound, it's going to be hard to just go into the chiropractor niche or gym niche and just get clients. You need to monopolize. You need to give yourself the best chance of success. And this is how you do it. You start by going into a really specific niche and get your first 10 clients, and then you can expand into the big markets. I'm going to leave you with a quote. Don't always go through the tiny little door that everyone's trying to rush through. Maybe go around the corner and go through the vast gate that nobody is taking. Please, don't just be a monkey and copy what everyone else is doing. Think for yourself. Go through the small door which no one is taking. I want to congratulate you for watching the video like I just did. And if you did find this video valuable, then obviously, watch my other content and, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you want even more support, let's say you're struggling and, you can't get your clients, then I'm going to leave a link in the description, which will give you access, or you can apply for one-to-one coaching. Obviously, only apply if you're serious. That's pretty self-explanatory. We don't want to take on people who aren't willing to put in the hard work. But yeah, if you really need help, then I'll leave a link and you can, get one-to-one coaching with me personally, which is awesome. But yeah, hopefully you found this valuable, helpful, all that good stuff. I'll catch you in the next video. Obviously, watch my other videos if you need more help. But yeah, have a great day and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.